The reserve list in 2022. Opportunity is knocking. Hi everyone and welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to my channel and you're just finding me in the Nacho Cheese universe of YouTube, thanks a lot for deciding to check out my content today. Really hope you enjoy it. And of course, if you did enjoy it, smash that subscribe button, join in the fun. It's free to do, helps the channel grow closer to that 10,000 subscriber goal this year. We're going to have a great time when we get there. The party will be amazing. Looking forward to seeing everyone there for the 10K party. So the reserve list in 2022. Opportunity is knocking, at least for me. I'm looking at this purely from a selfish perspective today of cards I want, because we're in 2022. I already know what my budget is pretty much going to be for the year because it's very similar to last year, but I know I won't be buying as many of the products that Wizards is putting out this year because a lot of the sets don't appeal to me. And if I change my mind, I may of course change gears, but I gotta stick to some goals. So there are cards I want, just like last year, where I really wanted to get that Mox Diamond. This year, I'm going after some cards. So let's start off with card number one. The card I really want to get my hands on going into 2022 because the reserve list is having this relaxed period right now. It's a calming. It's like the sea is still right now. Lots of fish out there. Not a lot of fishermen grabbing. Good time. Good time to be there. So, number one. My card I really want to get is Gaia's Cradle. Right? That's a card I'm really after. Got to get myself one Gaia's Cradle. That is a card I really desire for my commander deck I'm building, because I'm trying to get several commander decks put together. I got little pieces of them all over the place now, but this is a card I got to have. Okay? For my green deck, got to have it. Want to have my Gaia's Cradle, and I don't own one at all. So it's one of those cards I like to say, hey, I wanted to go for it last year, but we ran into some funding issues. So this year, that is a card I'm definitely after. And with the pricing the way things are, I'll be looking at probably between $1,100 and $1,400. Ooh, $1,400. And that'll be like Canadian, guys. This will be Canadian money, okay? Because in the States, certain stores will be less. Even if I bought a TCG player with shipping and stuff, it's around that same point. So I might as well go for a local copy. For a place where I'll probably get a discount buying it. But that's roughly what I'm looking at, unless I find some major deal or a beat-up copy, because I don't care if they're gem mint. I care because I want to play with a real card. I personally don't proxy very often anymore. I like to own the cards. So I'll be looking for a real copy in English of those. It's one of those goals I really want to set for myself this year. I want to move forward on it and grab it. But guess what? I'm being very ambitious this year. You're going to see. I'm being very ambitious. I've decided to add. I want to get... Oh, that pen's not... Hey. Wow, that's a horrible 3. That's 3, though. 3! 3 dual lands. Going to add at least 3 dual lands this year to my collection. I want to fatten things up a bit. I want to add a little bit of extra oomph for some of the stuff I'm building. I don't have to switch them out between decks, so I'm going for at least 3 dual lands. But it doesn't end there. I'm having this feeling I'm also going for... I don't know why this pen is not cooperating today. Huh? Yeah, there we go. 1. 1 power card. So, I don't know what that will be. I don't care if it's a Time Vault, Library of Alexandria, a Mox, a Lotus, a Time Walk. I'm going for another piece of power. I'm going to do it. Going to find a way this year to get my hands on another piece of power. These are my 3 main things I've decided I want to get my hands on. Not to mention all the regular cards I'm buying during our little talks here on the channel. That will not stop. But these are cards that are above and beyond. And of course, you can see they're probably going to be quite expensive. But when you look at the reserve list and how some of these prices are going, the last cards to relax are always Power 9 cards, the heavy power cards. You got to look for discounts, sales, somebody trying to ditch one, or a store you have a good favorable reputation with that you can go in and get that done. So that card's going to be expensive. Dual lands. Prices do shift. I haven't seen them go down very much in a little while, but I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I don't care if they're heavily played. Want to get my hands on some cards. Got to get a few more dual lands. Now remember, money's got to be saved. As a goal, I have to save up this cash as well to move myself forward. But when I look at this, I go, okay, if I'm cutting back on products this year, if I'm not buying, 8 collector boxes like I did for AFR, what I bought for Forgotten Realms, if I'm not buying 8 collector boxes, then in my head, I should have a couple $1,000s at some point this year that I can slowly pool together like I did for that, which can lead me to some of these cards, right? So I'm just shifting some cash around to get where I'm going. Then when I look up here and say Gaia's Cradle, that's the first card I want to get because I meant to get it last year, but things got hiccuped, as you guys know who watch the channel regularly. Basements, flooding, different costs come in. The first Mox I bought I had to send back because I needed a refund to help pay for my basement flooding and all the pipes that broke. You know how it goes. So life can get in the way, but these are the goals I have for myself to get some cards this year. And I think I can make them happen with some good dedication to what I'm doing. The fact the reserve list right now is going to this slow C right now with a big amount of cards out there, mid-level, low-level cards, no problem. The prices are nice and kind of slowly drifting down. Very nice for those who want to grab some copies. But in my head, I'm going, some of these bigger fish have not really dipped in price yet. It hasn't really happened. But I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I'm going to be watching to see what happens. And then when I see the right time at the right place, or if I have the right amount of cash put aside, that will be a card I jump on. When I looked at all the products at the end of the year, and I saw the things Wizards put out, I was not that pumped on a lot of the products. We talked about this on the channel. I just was like, Crimson Vow, Midnight Hunt were good sets, but I didn't buy cases of them like I normally would. I kind of said no. Instead, I went ahead and bought more cards for the channel for some future giveaway stuff. And in this case, I'm like, okay, I've got some cards put away. I've spent some money on that. Now it's time to put some money aside for myself and start working towards some stuff. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm sure a lot of the people out there who watch this channel will slowly see, depending on what avenue you want to take, how you want to put your funds towards certain projects or pet projects of cards you want to get your hands on. Remember, you don't always have to spend 5, 10, 20 bucks every time you stop and do an LGS. But if you were tempted to spend it and you thought about doing it, put that 20, 30, 40 bucks aside. If you skipped going out for dinner because you thought it was too expensive, take that cash, put it in that same piggy bank. That's what I do. Before I know it, I start adding up all those little drops, and before you know, like, oh, I got like $1,000 here. This is awesome. I can go ahead and really start looking at a cradle. I don't mind going in debt a few $100 on a credit card if I have most of the money in cash and I know I can clear the credit card before it comes due. It's all about timing. It's all about making sure you have what you want to get. Because the point is, it's a game. And I want to enjoy the game. And that means I would like to access some of these cards to add to my enjoyment and thrill when I play and when I talk to you guys on the channel. I wonder how many of you feel that way. Are you at home right now trying to set some goals for this year? It is 2022. It's that time where you got to set things down. Don't just make a resolution of what you want to do. Set your goal. Give yourself a timeline and a time frame to work on those goals. Want to lose some weight? I know that feeling. If you got to do that, you want to set a time frame. I'm going to cut back on some carbs. I'm going to take an extra half-hour walk, whatever it would be. I'm doing the same with Magic cards. The reserve list is at a prime time right now. A lot of people aren't paying attention except for a few channels like myself out there who still like to focus on this a lot. There's underpriced cards, which leads to opportunity. Buying a few of those cards could result in large yield returns 5-10 years from now. You got to take nibbles in the ocean to build your little pot of wealth later on. And it's not just Magic cards. You have to put some money away for your retirement. You got to put some money away to buy your first property. There's always something we're saving for. But if you don't stick to that goal and focus on it, and remember, most real goals will have sacrifice involved. It's not like money's just going to appear in a pot on a money tree and you get to go buy something. You usually have to sacrifice other things to get to that goal. And that's the key. These are cards I want to get. I'm going for a piece of power this year. I know. Going to go for at least 3 dual lands, if not more. And I'm getting that cradle. That's just the start. Not to mention the cards I actually want to buy still. I'm still going for Thrall Champions, City of Shadow, Lodestone Bauble, Trading Post, Soldevi Excavations. There's still reserve list cards I'm going to be buying regularly. But I'm going for this too. I'm working toward it. I got goals in mind. It's going to be epic. I know for myself, I have to remain goal-oriented. Because if I don't, I walk into my local LGS, I walk into any store, and I start spending money sometimes when I shouldn't be. But if I go in and I have that goal in my head about what I should be after, instead of buying a random collector pack, maybe I should go over that showcase and look at that cradle and remind myself why I'm not buying a pack today. Maybe instead of eating takeout, I'll let my family have takeout. I'll skip that meal, take that 20, 30 bucks and put that aside toward my next card. I'm going to have to remind myself to stay focused because that's how I best operate. You all know how you best operate. You know what makes you hum. I don't know. I'm just a guy talking to you on the channel right now, yamming about the cards I want to get. But I assume if I'm feeling this way, so are you out there. There are cards you'd like to get your hands on. How are you going to go about getting them? What are you willing to do to get to the cards you want? Like I said, it does take sacrifice, generally speaking, unless we get lucky. Like I have no idea what my tax return will bring. This year is going to be a funky year. I got to file all this stuff and see what I'm allowed to write off for the channel and what I'm not allowed to write off. Okay? But I don't know that yet. So right now, staying goal-oriented. And you know what? Now that we're at the end of the video, now we're rounding things down, and it's like, I don't know, 10 or 11 minutes in. Most people have already clipped off the channel and not paid attention. If you're here, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to participate if you'd like to. You don't have to do anything. Here are these things here. 3 dual lands, 1 power card. You go ahead and you say which one I should go for. And I'll really work toward it. Which power card do you think I should go for? Which 3 dual lands should I go for? Don't care if they're near mint, so don't put down near mint or moderate played. Just tell me the 3 you think I should go for. I am curious because I'm not fussy about which 3. I have enough dual lands I can move some out of decks if I have to. But for dual lands, it doesn't really matter. A piece of power, it's something here for the background, something for the future use of the channel possibly. So I'm just trying to buy something. We'll see how it goes. I'm curious to see who makes it this far in the video and watches that to make a comment. I'll be looking for that. Now as I slurp my coffee and as we finish this video off, I think there are real opportunities in the reserve list this year. That's why I'm so focused on getting some of the cards I want. I'm expecting a bit of a downturn. It's not going to affect power cards probably until April or May. This downturn takes a long time to affect higher end cards. So April, May, from what I'm trending, I'm expecting to see some cards go down in price, which will leave opportunities available for me to grab some of them, which I'm pretty excited about. Now, for other reserve list cards, there's opportunity for all kinds of players to get in. I hate when I hear people say, oh, I can't afford these cards. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You may have to work toward it. You may have to get a second job, but you can. If you really want to go for a card, go for it. We work hard in our lives. We deserve these things sometimes. We just have to work extra hard to get the little bonus things we'd like to have in our lives. It's pretty amazing stuff. And this year there are cards I want to add to my collection, and I'm going to do it. So thanks a lot for tuning in today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, keep those goals going, man. You'd never know what they could lead you to. You might be able to get the exact cards you want to get this year. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I look forward to seeing everyone's comments in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up and a like, and of course, pass it around with some friends. Let's get this party rolling. Have a great one, everyone. And of course, a big shout out goes out to each and every one of my fantastic patrons. The Patreon sheets will be updated as of tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. Everything should be locked in place. As you know, I was without technology for a couple of days, but I'm looking forward to it. Patrons make the world go round. Thanks again, everyone.